Happy Thursday. Welcome. We have it exactly at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your host, Miss Zandra Sexton Holmes of the Blue Squad Travel Group. I'm so excited that you decided to spend some of your time this evening to join me. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I missed y'all. I really did, right? I've been in these travel streets, in these travel skies, but listen, I'm back. I'm not traveling nowhere soon. I think not until end of March for my birthday celebration. And y'all already know where we going at for that, right? Do y'all know? If you know, drop it in the comments and let me know. And for my new folks who might be new, who may not know what's going on, when you come in, do me a big favor and drop where you are watching from. So do a hashtag and then shout out your city, okay? That's if you're not scared. Now, if you scared and if you ashamed of where you from, then you may not feel a little motivated, right, to put it in there. But listen, I don't care if it's a small rural town, because y'all already know I rep Alma, Alma, okay? That's where I was raised. Or if it's some big city, okay, metropolitan city. I don't care where it's at. I want to know where you're watching from, okay? Now, let's see, because I already got some comments. Okay, look, baby. Somebody says, okay, so it's my family. Hello, cousin, California, baby. Yes, I love it. So if I do not call you by your name, charge it to my heart, okay? If you did not register with StreamYard, I cannot see your name. So it only appears as Facebook user, okay? So if you want me to see your name, you have to register with StreamYard, and then I know who I'm talking to. If not, I'll be making some assumptions. Or if you want, you can drop your name so that I can address you. Now, it gets really interesting when we get a lot of other people on who says Facebook user, and I'm trying to figure out who I'm talking to, okay? So when you come in, let me know where you're watching from, okay? And then I'm going to get started because listen, baby, I know we busy, okay? I know we busy and because I'm busy, okay? And I am not going to waste your time. If you got some friends who need to be on here, baby, go on and tag them and say, listen, she done started. She ain't playing no games. Listen, she came back hot and ready, okay? She is not playing no games. Okay, so good evening, beautiful people out here. Okay, so I am so glad that you are part of this treasure community, okay? I really, really am. And tonight, we got a good discussion, y'all. Can somebody in the chat say good? I mean, it's good discussion because it's a journey into the heart of travel, adventure, and unforgettable experiences that shape all of us, right? That's why we travel. Now, if you are thrilled to be here, like I am, and you're ready to dive deep into the joys, the thrills, the yes, the no's, the spicy side of travel, baby, go ahead and get you a nice little drink, whatever your drink of choice is, that's your business. And tonight is all about sharing, learning, laughing, and then also educating ourselves, right? Now, it's a saying I say, when you know better, you what? Come on now. Come on, for the people in the church, come on now. When you know better, you what? You do better, okay? So I might step on some toes tonight, might even step on some necks, but I'm doing it with love because all of us need to know certain things when we travel, and some of us don't know, right? Some of us don't know the etiquette when we're traveling, some do's and some don'ts. And I just want to make sure that you're safe, number one, and number two, that you return home in one piece and without nothing, okay? You don't want to go somewhere and something happens and now you return home and now you're affected by it mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things, right? So this is the reason why I do these lives, because it's all about education. So as we're talking about the different things that we'll be talking about tonight, dancing under the foreign skies, savoring some cuisine that you might have in new countries, exhilarating encounters. Remember to keep our conversation respectful, okay, inclusive, and full of warmth that our community is known for, okay? Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter and baby, you done been in everywhere in the sun, okay? I mean, you are always on the go, or it's your first time, right? You like, girl, I'm scared to this travel stuff. They got all these travel advisories going on. I don't know what this be about. Like, I'm nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time I think about traveling, then something happens and then the news have me in a frenzy. We here for you too, okay? Now, let's be inspired about sharing our wisdom, laughter, and the most cherished memories. So, like I said, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's embark on this journey together. I'm ready to spill the tea on those nights that turn into some stories, baby. Because listen, honey, sometimes you go out of town and baby, you turn into somebody else. Hey, listen, the connections that last a day but stay with us forever, and how we navigate, like what it turned out to be. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, let's dive in. Let's dive into tonight's topic so we can go ahead and get into it. Get into it. Oh, look at that. God is good. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Do better. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's do a little icebreaker. Okay, let's do a little icebreaker. So in the chat, for the people who is viewing this live, what I want you to do, and even if you catch this on replay, make sure you hashtag replay. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, when was the last time you did something that you were kind of like, you couldn't believe you done it? And I want you to reference out of the country. Okay. So like, when was the last time you did something and you was like, Lord, I cannot believe I did that? Or, and I'm not telling you to spill your business. Okay. I'm just saying, when was the last time? So put that in the comment. When was the last time you actually did something? Okay. So was it your first trip? Was it last month? Was it last year? Was it like 20 years ago? 50 years ago? Was it yesterday? Listen, it is your business, okay? So tell me when was it, okay? Because I want to see the recency. Is it something that you just did? Or if it was like way back that you have not done, okay? That's the first thing I want you to do, okay? So tell me that. And we're going to highlight some comments today, okay? And then we're going to go and get started. Okay, so baby, so tonight's live is going to be more like a question and answer. Okay, so I'm going to pose some questions to you, and then what I want you to do is I need your participation. Then I want you to respond back to me and tell me, you know what I'm saying, what you would do in a certain situation, what you did in a certain situation, what you would not do in a certain situation, because you learn, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it off easy for y'all. Okay, so how about this? Picture this, okay? And if you that person who need to close your eyes so you can visualize being there, like being in the country, being in the place, it's okay, baby. No judgment. Close your eyes. I want you to get in the zone, okay? Now imagine this. You just landed in a country where the language sounds like music you've never danced to. How do you bridge the communication gap? Do you have any funny or enlightening experiences where hand gestures became your best friend, or maybe a translation app saved the day? So let me know who I have online, right? Because a lot of times, sometimes we go to places that, I mean, soon as we land and we get out the airport, the language seems foreign to us. Like, I don't know what these people are saying. I can't even understand it. And we are grabbing our phones, trying to get that translation app out, trying to figure out what they are saying. Now, if you are fluent in languages, then you have a one-up, right? Because you're not worried. You're like, baby, I know what they're saying. I know all the things they're saying. So someone says, I smiled a lot and I use a translator. If you don't mind, share which translation app you use. Because y'all know these days they got so many translation apps, right, that you can't keep up with. So share the one that you use. And then at the end, I'll share the one that I use. And I rarely use it, right? Because the places that I have traveled to have been heavy in English speaking, right? So the areas are known for tourists. So if you have areas that are known for tourists, particularly English speaking tourists, what happens is these individuals are very good at speaking English, right? Or they can communicate English to a certain level where you can understand them and they can understand you, right? So like your basics, right? So of course, when you go in the Caribbean, you know, mostly everybody speaks English. Okay. So like last week I was in Jamaica. They speak English. Now they speak a different type of English when they start speaking the patois, right? But they still understand, they speak English. Now, when you go to Mexico, what's the language they speak there? Put it in the chat. Now, when you start going to like the Spanish regions, you might get different dialects of Spanish, but they can relate and understand each other. Okay. And in most Spanish speaking countries, there's people that also speak English, right? So the name of the app that I use is Google Translate. So if I need to actually figure out what somebody is saying, or I need to read a sign or something, I'm gonna pull up Google Translate and then I'm gonna see what it says. Okay. Now, for those of you who are my travelers, I mean, you go out there. So you might be going to Africa, Bali, Dubai, Italy, Spain, Morocco, and where the language is different, right? You may encounter people who don't speak it. How do you navigate? You know, do you become a hand gesturer? You know what I'm saying? You trying to write and spell out what you're trying to say, or I'm trying to find me something to eat. I'm trying to find me something to read. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for, I need to dance. You know what I'm saying? I need to get in a taxi, right? You become very skilled at doing certain things. So let me know in the chat, okay? Now, let's move on. Now, where are my foodies at? If you are a foodie, drop some food emojis in the chat, because I want to know who I'm talking to. Because, baby, when I go to some place that's different, the first thing I'm checking out is, okay, what is the food looking like? What is this place known for? Is it known for the food, the drinks, a dessert? You know what I'm saying? I want to know, and I want to try it out. So imagine sitting at a local eatery, faced with the menu that's all in the local dialect. Dishes you can't pronounce, but they sound so tantalizing. You like, Lord, I can't even say this. Like, I can't even articulate what this is. How do you choose what to eat? Do you just ever take a leap and you say, you know what, I'm just going to order something, I don't even know what this is, only to be pleasantly surprised? Or maybe not. So has that happened to anyone, where you've been somewhere and you looking at the menu and you like, Lord Jesus? I mean, I'm trying to figure it out, right? I'm trying to see what this says, and some of this stuff, it looks familiar. Some of this stuff, it don't. What I supposed to do? And you just order something, or are you that person like, listen, I'm just to find out what they saying. Let me pull up my phone and let me plug in and go to Google and see what these people is trying to serve me. Has that ever happened to you? Let me know. And then if it did happen to you, did you accidentally order something that was amazing? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, right? It's like a happy mistake. Or did you order something, when you looked at the plate, you was like, oh, Jesus. Like, what is this? It's looking at me and I'm looking at it. Come on now. Let me know, okay? Let me know. Now, remember, when you join us, hashtag where you're watching from. If you catch this on replay, hashtag replay, okay? Now, let's move on. Okay, so let's get a little bit cheeky, if you don't mind. Have you ever found yourself accidentally breaking a local custom or etiquette and had to navigate your way out with smiles and apologies? Like, my bad. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Ooh, I did not know that. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you. I did not mean to say that. I did not mean to do that. Can you share with us your oops moment and how you turned it into a learning curve? Because it's all about embracing culture, right? And y'all know me. Come on, this is my thing. Y'all know me when I am preparing anybody to travel. I'm really, really big with this. And the reason why I'm big with this is because I want to make sure that when people go to any place, they know the do's and don'ts, right? But sometimes you can slip up, and sometimes, you your home training just comes out, right? So, like in certain places, it might be considered impolite to hold the door for somebody, right? But like, let's say if you are in the United States, you are a gentleman, you are accustomed to doing that, and you're just doing that because that's what you do, right? That's your routine. And you go somewhere else and you do that, and they like, this fool done lost his everlasting mind, right? And you like, but I didn't know, or I knew, but habit kicked in and you forgot where you was at, right? So something as simple as that, holding the door, right? Staring at somebody, saying a compliment to a woman or to a man. Like, you have to know what you can and cannot do, because in some places, baby, you could be clank clank. They can lock you up. You don't want to be locked up on no vacation. I don't know about you, baby. I want to have a good time, but that's not a time I want to have where I am locked up on a vacation. Okay. So let me know if you ever experienced that. Okay. And how did you embrace it once you figured out, oh, Lord, I done messed up. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have did that. Let me know. Okay, so, let's talk about a little bit, for my people who like to be a little bit adventurous, right? You want to go off the resort. You want to go away from the hotel. You want to go somewhere and you like, listen, I want to see what the vibes are, okay? When I think of this person, I think of one of my friends, Yolanda. Like, Yolanda is the vibe person. Like, she always wants to see different things, right? She's the wanderer who likes to go and sees different things, right? So when you're stepping into a new country and you like, listen, I want to talk about the local scene. Tell us about a time when you danced into dawn. Or maybe you went and you had a delicious dinner or breakfast somewhere, or you just simply soaked up the nightlife. How did you find those hot spots that were not in your travel guides? So when I say not in your travel guides, what I mean by that is, you know how for most destinations you get a travel guide, right? And if you get a travel guide, the travel guide is going to give you some general information about the place, right? So it's going to tell you like how to say hello, how to say goodbye, how to, say certain phrases, the restaurants you should visit, the places you should see, right? The places you should shop, transportation, the currency of the place, the language they speak, right? Very general, basic information telling you about that place. But it's very general, right? It's normally not going to divulge certain information like places you can find off the beaten path. Like, you will have to either done some real good research, or you have to have known somebody who traveled there. And they're like, listen, they telling you to go here, but sis, you don't need to go here. You need to go here, right? So that usually takes just being a more experienced traveler, going to that area more than once, or knowing a local tour guide who can really navigate and take you where to go at. Okay. So tell me, how did you find these hot spots if you were not using a travel guide? Like, was it just by happenstance you found it? Or was it because you actually did some research? Okay. And if you don't mind, share what you discover in those destinations. Okay. Now, let's talk about the joy of connections, baby. Listen, because I know I got some people in here that's single. I got some people in here that's semi-single. I got some married folks, right? So let's talk about this. This is going to be very, very good. Okay. So when you travel, it often brings us face to face with some fascinating people from all walks of life, right? People who live in the community, work in the community, don't work in the community, stay there, half a season, stay there half a year, then leave. People who own businesses, people who, you find so many people in all different walks of life. And that's one thing that I love about traveling. Have you ever found yourself in a whirlwind friendship or romance while traveling? Yes, baby, I'm getting up all of y'all business today. Listen, I want to know a few things. How did it start? What did it teach you about love, life, and the connections we make even if it was just for a night or two, or even, hey, maybe you are the poster child. And you're like, listen, girl, I met my husband in Abu Dhabi, baby. Okay. And if I would never ever went out that night, baby, I wouldn't be with the man of my dreams. That might be your story. Okay. So tell me, has this ever happened to you or almost happened to you? Okay. How safe are you when you are in another country and when it's time to go off, right, away from the hotel, the resort, and you are exploring the local scene? Like, how open are you to do that? Okay. Because tonight's topic is, how do you act out of country? Okay. Because we know sometimes, baby, we turn into a whole nother person, a whole nother person. And then sometimes we either be a little bit more strict and stern and disciplined, and we are cautious and we're vigilant and we're like, hold on, right? Or we just carefree and we like, listen, I'm on vacation. Whatever happens, happens. It's going to be okay. Nobody ain't trying to get me. Nobody ain't trying to take me away. Like, what type of person are you when you are on vacation? Okay. And I would say, even when you are at your accommodations, and even if you are away, right? Because I mean, people exist everywhere, right? So even though people are staying in the same resort as you, compared to people who are staying outside the resort, you just never know these days what people's intentions and motives are, right? So that person who's trying to befriend you, are they really trying to befriend you to become a friend? Or do they have something else in mind? Okay. Let me know, okay? Because I'll tell you personally my experience. So me personally, when I go vacation, I'm a social butterfly anyway, okay? If you could not tell, okay? But when I go vacation, I tend to be the person that I'm kind of in the middle. Now, when I'm traveling with my husband, I'm a little bit more carefree because he's the person that's there who is kind of looking, observing, and he's the protector, right? So I feel at ease because I know, baby, he's like secret agent or something. Now, when I'm with my girls, I take a different approach because number one, I know I got other people traveling with me, and I'm being very cognizant of my surroundings and people and what we're doing or what we're drinking or where we're going. But then I serve as kind of the person where I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna make sure everybody's okay. I'm gonna make sure that this person ain't being too friendly or this person ain't trying to do something, right? So let me know, when you're traveling with your friend group, what position, what role do you play? Okay. Are you the carefree friend, or are you the friend like, baby, listen, I got eyes on each one of y'all. Y'all ain't going nowhere, nothing ain't happening. You better tell me like everything. Let me know in the chat which one you serve as. Okay, let's talk about solo traveler night life tips. Okay, so for those of us who venture solo, hitting up the local nightlife can be a thrilling yet daunting prospect, right? How do you ensure a night of fun doesn't turn into a hassle? Tips on staying safe while still being open to new experiences are gold. Let's share and care about each other. So let's say if you are at the resort and you're like, you know what, I just want to check out the nightlife. I want to see, what's popping in Mexico tonight, in Jamaica, in Bali, in Singapore. I want to see what's going on. I don't want to stay on the resort, right? Who in here is like that? Whereas they like, listen, I need to be going out. I don't want to just be partying with the people that is in this resort. I want to go out. I want to explore. Well, if you do that, what are some things that you're doing to make sure that you're being safe? Okay, let's share that. What are some things that you are doing? So I'm going to share some tips and strategies that I use. Okay. So first thing first, you want to always tell somebody who you're not traveling with that where you're going. So if you are going to a local night spot or nightclub down the street, you should be able to give that person that information. Okay. So where it's located at, and how long you expect to be there. Okay. And then share things like, okay, how you're getting there. Are you taking a taxi? Is somebody from the resort riding you there? Okay. Are you jumping in a vehicle with a stranger who became a friend? Like, and then if you're doing that, are you taking pictures? Are you taking videos so you know how these people look, what they're driving, their tags, like all of that, right? That would be my recommendation. Okay. And then you're always sharing this with somebody who's not with you. Okay. Because in the event that you don't come back in time, in the event that something happens, somebody else should need to know, okay, you know what? Treese did say she was going to that night spot down the street, but she said she's going to be back at 1:30. Girl, it's 2:30 right now. What's going on? Right? So when stuff like that happen, like red flags should start going out. And you should be like, okay, maybe something is not happening. Okay. I love some of the tips that Treese is dropping. She said, get recommendations from a local, reputable tour guide. I love that she said local and she said reputable. Why? Because, y'all, in these days and times, there are so many people that will say they're a tour guide. It is so many people will say that they are X, Y, and Z, and they are illegitimate. Okay. They are not legit. So in the event that something happens, you need to file something, you're trying to sue them, and you go with just mojo on the street and something happens, and now you don't went on the parasailing with somebody who said they had a speedboat and it is not registered, and then something happens and it blows up in the sea, and now you're trying to like, hold on, I'm about to do something. What you about to do? You decided to just go with a random person. So this is things you got to think about. One of her other tips, check out reviews from popular travel sites. Yes, this is very important because if you go, one site that I love using is TripAdvisor. So anytime I'm looking at doing something out of the country or even in the country, I go to TripAdvisor and I'll just go through the reviews and see what they're saying. You know, how is the company? How is their timeliness, their professionalism? The equipment that we're riding on or we'll be using. Is it up to date or did it feel like the wheels was about to fall off? Right? You want to see what real travelers are saying about it because more than likely it may be some truth to it. Now, some people are bitter and you can kind of tell the ones that are bitter and mad and they just like, look, somebody done pissed them off and they just trying to make sure nobody ever use that company again. Okay. And then also too, when you are deciding to venture out, make sure you have enough cash on you, right? So like, let's say if something was to happen and everybody might not have a card terminal. Everybody might not accept cards. So you should have some a bit of cash on you in the event if you need to buy something, you need to get back to your hotel, your resort, you have some type of cash, right? Now these days, mostly everybody have Cash App or they have Zelle, they have Venmo, they have PayPal, they have something, right? But in the event, let's say if your phone is dead, your device is dead and you can't get to it, or you don't have internet connection, the Wi-Fi is interfering. How will you get those people that money? And they like, I don't know you. I'm gonna need to know that you can pay me. So think about all these things as well when you are in destination and when you are traveling and things. I always have some type of cash on you, a small amount. And I ain't telling you to come with a bunch of hundreds and you like, oh yeah, I got it. No, that's being crazy. Okay. You are putting yourself as a target. What I'm saying is having some cash in the event that you need to use it, you can. Okay. And this is the last one before we wrap it up. Okay, now let's talk about getting loose. Now, y'all know where I'm going at with this, right? So different people have different opinions and perspectives on what they do, okay? Let's be clear, okay? But as a woman and as a advocate to make sure that you're safe and that you return safe, be mindful of how you move, okay? I don't care if you just met this person or you've been talking to this person over a specific time, you know what I'm saying? And you might feel like you know this person and you getting good vibes and you just got intuition. Be careful, right? Y'all know the stories that have happened in history, right? Where somebody meets up with somebody and then they don't make it home. Probably a lot of stories we don't even know about. They don't even make it to the news or the social media outlets. So with that being said, use good judgment and good common sense, okay? Because a night of pleasure or a night of you getting loose, is it right? Like, if something happened, was it worth it, right? So you got to be mindful of that, because a lot of times when you are in destination and when you are having a good time, you'll be invited to private parties. You might be invited to house parties off the resort, people who appear to be friendly and appear to be nice, and they may truly be that, right? But if you are with your girls or if you have family members with you, you want to be mindful of certain things, because when you start drinking and you are not all the way there, then your thinking is not as sharp and crystal clear, and things can be happening unbeknownst to you. And you just need to make sure that you have a good ideal of being able to handle yourself as well as the others who are with you, right? I hear stories all the time. Some stories make me cringe and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that happened, right? But sometimes either the parents get too comfortable, they let alcohol overtake them and things happen to their young ones. And then they thinking, oh, we're having a good time. We're in Mexico. We're doing all of this. And then you don't know actually what happened to your teenage daughter in the back room because they was with the hot bartender, right? So just be mindful of that when you are venturing off a property, okay? And then if you are the person who do that, baby, make sure you're using some protection, okay? Got to keep it real. Use some protection, and because, you don't want things to happen. And now you like, Lord, how can you contact the person? That's the thing too. Did a person provide you with a legitimate name? Will you be able to contact them in the event that something did happen? Do you have their contact information, their real name, a phone number, you know what I'm saying? Some way that you can contact them or get an address, right? So think about all those things, okay? And that's it, okay? So the next time that you are venturing out of the country, I want you to do like a self-check. And I want you to ask yourself, how do I act when I'm out of the country? Do I act the same as I act when I am home? Or do I act a little bit different? Are you more carefree? Or you more disciplined, more vigilant, more cautious, more concerned? And kind of rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Whereas 10 is I act the same no matter where I'm at. Or if you kind of fall down towards the 1, then kind of ask yourself why, right? Because we want you to be returned back safe and in one piece. We don't want you to have any type of stories or any type of, trauma because of what may have happened in destination. So hopefully tonight's topic was a good one. Again, I'm here to educate you and to get you to thinking about some things, right? Because a lot of times when you travel with people who you don't know, you might not know what some other people might be into, right? You might go with somebody and you might find that they're a little frisky. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? They might be into doing some little extra recreational stuff that you like, girl, I did not think that this was going to be a trip like this, right? So when you are put in situations like that, how would you respond? Okay. How will you have that conversation with them to let them know, hey, what you're doing or how you're acting is not cool. And because of that, I can't travel with you. I can't invite you back to travel with us, right? It's, a hard conversation, crucial conversation, but sometimes it has to be had and said. So know your guidelines when you're traveling with your travel group, your friends. What are the boundaries? What are some things you will allow to happen? What are some things that are just non-negotiables? Like, listen, if you do this, you will not be invited back. You cannot come because we're not for the shenanigans, okay? So again, beautiful people, thank you for joining me on this Thursday. That is my time. My name is Zandra. I love travel. Right now, If you are looking to book your spring break trip, your summer trip, your fall, your holiday trip, right now is the perfect time to get started. Remember, you don't need a reason to travel, to celebrate. Okay. It doesn't have to be a birthday, anniversary, graduation. It can be just because. And if you don't want to deal with the hassle, the stress, running behind group members, trying to figure it out, what can I do in destination? What can I not do? Is this a good resort? All the things, come to us and we handle everything for you from A to Z. And our intent is to make it a hassle-free experience where you can just really enjoy yourself because you're already busy. You're already doing all the things. The last thing I want you to do is to add something else to your plate and you're like, oh my gosh, this is too much. And then before you know it, you done postpone your vacation, you done cancel your vacation, and you're not living your best life. You are meant to live your best life. Yes, sis. Yes, bro. You are meant to live your best life. Life is short. We don't know how long we got here. And I want you to live it up. Okay. Live it up. Have the best time ever. If you have any questions, you can send it to our email address. I'm about to drop that in the chat about anything that we spoke about tonight. If you have not joined our email list, there's a running banner below. Make sure you join our email list. We have some group trips that will be announced before the end of February for 2025. If you are looking to go to New Orleans, we are down to our last double bed room. So you need to get in like ASAP, okay? If you are looking to go to Cartagena, Colombia, that is next month. You need to talk to me like yesterday. But if you want to squeeze in, I may can do something for you, but I need you to inbox me, DM me, send me an email, do something, but I need you to do it ASAPly. Yes, I just made up a word. And then, of course, our group cruise. If you want to get in on that one, I would have to contact the cruise line to see if they have any availability or space because they are almost sold out. So they are at capacity. And then Zanzibar and Tanzania or Tanzania, however you want to say it, baby. That is in August. Contact me about that. I've been checking those airfare and baby, whoo, they want everything, baby. They want everything, okay? So contact me if you're interested in that. So again, have an amazing Thursday. Make sure you continue to invite people into the community, okay? Remember, our new time is 7 p.m. on Thursday nights. We will be having a guest, and let me tell you when the guest will be coming. She'll be coming on February the 22nd. Her name is Crystal Taylor, and she is amazing. So even for my people who like, girl, I ain't supposed to work out. Girl, I don't need to know nothing about working out. I guarantee you she has something for you, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Okay. So again, have a beautiful day. I will talk to you later. And listen, if you ain't talking about a vacation, what are you talking about? I'll talk to y'all next week. Goodbye.